Good morning, dear students. I'm Dr. Shabana here, like one of the faculty from Department of Anatomy. So, we are introducing subject anatomy to you, and we will be discussing like whole anatomy, within the classes given according to your schedule. So, today we are going to discuss introduction to anatomy. So, in introduction to anatomy, we have anatomical terminology from ancient Greek and Latin. We have different branches of anatomy, like we have gross anatomy, where you study the anatomy region wise, like head and neck, upper limb, lower limb, abdomen, thorax. Okay, if we study microscopically, like if we study anatomy looking under the microscope, so generally under this we have two subdivisions, cytology and histology. We have developmental anatomy, that is embryology. We have comparative anatomy also. Disciplines in anatomy, like anatomy is nothing but when we study the structure of an organism, that is anatomy. So when we look at the structure and study, you call it as macroscopic anatomy. That's what is also called as gross anatomy. When you look under the microscope and study, that is microscopic. When you look into the embryological development of the human body, that is developmental anatomy, also called as embryology. And we have neuroanatomy, where we study the brain and spinal cord and everything. So the definition of anatomy, it is a science of structure and function of the body. Function of the body, basically you deal in physiology, and more in anatomy we deal with structure. So anatome is nothing but ana is up and tome is cutting. So basic anatomy is study of minimal amount of anatomy consistent with the understanding of overall structure and function of the body. Clinical anatomy is the study of macroscopic structure and function of the body as it relates to practice of medicine and other health sciences. So approaches to study the gross anatomy, we have regional anatomy and we have systemic anatomy. Regional anatomy is generally when you study region wise. Head and neck is one region, upper limb one region, lower limb one region, thorax one region, abdomen one region. Something like that if you study, generally we call it as regional anatomy. But for your curriculum, we have systemic anatomy. What does it mean? Systemic anatomy means in the sense we read system wise, like anatomy of cardiovascular system, anatomy of respiratory system, anatomy of muscular system, anatomy of all the systems, respiratory, endocrine, reproductive, every system, like special senses. So all the systems, you generally use the word systemic anatomy. No. How is the human body organized? So the smallest living unit of the body is cell. So tissue is nothing but group of like cells working together. Then organ, it is a structure composed of several different tissues performing a particular function. Then systems are group of organs which together perform an overall function. So human anatomical terms, so make up distinct nomenclature we have to represent areas of the body, to provide orientation when describing parts of human body, to distinguish different movements of the body. I'll try to explain. Like coming to the anatomical position. So when we are like standing in an erect position like this position, what you are seeing on the screen, like the body is erect, head toes are directed forwards, and limbs are on the sides of the body. This is upper limb and this is lower limb. These are on the sides of the body, and palm is directed forwards. This is what is correct anatomical position. Sometimes there may be a question to define what is correct anatomical position. So you are supposed to write these points. Body is erect, head and toes are directed forwards, and limbs are on the sides and palms directed forwards. Now, the anatomical position, when the body is lying face down in the anatomical position, this is called prone position. Okay, and when the body is lying face up, when we lie down, when we are sleeping, when face is up, you call supine position. When face is down, you call it as prone position. Okay, then we have certain planes in anatomy. What are those? We have median sagittal plane, also called as median plane. We have paramedian plane, we have frontal, also called as coronal plane, horizontal or transverse plane. Now let us define each plane, like median plane. Median plane is nothing but this plane, which is vertical plane, which is passing through center of the body, dividing the body into two equal right and left halves. This is median plane. Next, we have paramedian plane. Paramedian in the sense it is not exactly towards the center as we see in the median. It is little away from the center. So again, this is actually also called as sagittal plane. It is vertical and it is parallel to median plane. Not exactly in the center, but parallel to median plane is paramedian plane. Next, we have coronal plane. See, coronal in the sense, as though you are trying to cut the body into two equal halves in this direction. Okay, so it is vertical, perpendicular to median plane. This is the median plane and it runs like this perpendicular to the median plane, separates the body into anterior part, which is front, and posterior part, which is behind. Then we have horizontal plane. The body is being cut in this direction. This is horizontal, so parallel to floor, perpendicular to median and coronal planes, separates the body into superior and inferior parts. That means if you cut in this direction, horizontal plane, the body will be cut into upper half and lower half. Okay, then so these are the various planes. Once you know the various planes, we have certain things like some more anatomical terms which you should know, like we have ventral or anterior, that means which is facing in front. This term indicates like dorsal or posterior, which is behind. Cephalic is towards head, which is also called as superior. Caudal is towards tail, which is also called as inferior. Then so we have certain words like upper and lower, which is up means which is present above, lower means which is present below. Okay, then we have terms like if the suppose if you have three bones in the middle ear, like malleus, incus and stapes, which you should have studied in your intermediate. So middle bone is incus, something like that, middle. Okay, it is also called as medius. Other term which is used to represent is intermediate. All three terms is the same meaning. So I will show you what is superficial and deep. If it is present like just superficially, like which is seen from surface, you call it as superficial. When you cut and deep inside, see inside, you call it as deep. So we have terms like proximal and distal also. I'll show you and explain. We have ipsilateral, contralateral. Ipsilateral is same side, contralateral is opposite side, external is outside, internal is inside, medial is near to midline, lateral is away from midline. Now let us see everything now, whatever words I have kept here, I am just showing you. So this is the body which you are seeing. If you see the body from front, you call it as anterior, which is also called as ventral, closer to the anterior surface of the body. If you see from behind, you call it as posterior, closer to the posterior surface of the body. That is towards vertebral column, that is posterior, and towards the front is anterior. So reference point, we have frontal or coronal plane. That means where we have cut, no, like I said, like dividing equally into the anterior and posterior halves, that plane. Now, in front, this is print mistake, VEN, ventral. Behind is dorsal. If you see from front, you call it as ventral. Okay, if you see from behind, close to this vertebral column, back and all, you call it as dorsal. Okay, this is in front, you call it as ventral. Okay, then we have superior and inferior. Superior means closer to the head and inferior is closer to the feet. Okay, and reference point is the horizontal plane. Okay, any point. Then superficial and deep, you are finding something dissected here, the skin is cut. So that means the first thing which you have to come across is skin. So that means skin is superficial. Once you cut the skin, you will see tendons, muscles all deep inside. So that is actually called as deep. Okay. So as you can see here, if you take the complete upper limb, like suppose this is the neck is the point of origin, like this is very close to the body, and if you just consider this upper limb. Okay, you will have like in this is arm, this is forearm, and this is hand. So when you consider arm, arm becomes proximal to forearm, forearm becomes proximal to hand. Okay, when you consider it like this. So proximal is closer to the root of the limbs. Distal is farther away from the root of the limbs. So reference point is the origin of the structure. Okay, that is proximal. So that means shoulder point is proximal, fingers are distal. Okay, then ipsilateral means same side, contralateral means opposite side. Okay, then external and internal. When you see it from outside, you call it as external. Okay, and when you see it from inside, you call it as internal. Okay, external being outside, internal being inside. Okay, now in the correct anatomical position, if you are cutting this body in this midline plane, okay, this is midline. So near to the midline, see, this is the medial border, and away from the body, this is the lateral border. Okay, we have medial and lateral. Okay, then now let us see what are the various terms related to the movement of the joint. So see here, there are certain movements like flexion, which is bending anteriorly, extension, which is straightening posteriorly. You can see this is the shoulder joint. If it is bending anteriorly, you call it as flexion. And if you are taking it behind posteriorly, you call it as extension. Okay, then we have certain terms like plantar flexion and dorsiflexion. Okay, so generally plantar flexion and dorsiflexion are the words which we use for the foot. Okay, then the movements in the trunk, we have adduction and abduction. Okay, so adduction is something, you see, this is the limb. If you are bringing it close to the body, you call it as adduction, add. And if you are taking it away from the body, you call it as abduction. Okay, then so flexion extension has been shown in shoulder joint, in the elbow joint. This is flexion and this is extension. For the knee joint, see, this is extension, and if you take it behind, that is flexion. Okay, then similarly, if you see the palm, we have adduction. If you bring the fingers close to the midline, as the arrows are shown, if you like close your fingers towards the middle finger, you call it as adduction. And if you take these fingers away from the middle finger, then you call it as abduction. Arrow is away for abduction. Arrow is close to the midline, you call it as adduction. Okay, then we have lateral flexion of the trunk. So if you bend it like this, this is the lateral flexion of the trunk. Okay, this is the medial rotation of shoulder, lateral rotation of shoulder. Okay, then we have other words like pronation, everything we will see better. So pronation is if palm is facing upwards. As suppose we are asking something, beggars begging something, you call it as supination. If the dorsum of the hand, as though you are blessing someone, that is pronation of forearm, as though you are giving something to a beggar. So this is the position of your forearm and the dorsum of the hand. You call this as pronation. Okay, and if you are completely rotating your shoulder 360 degrees, you call it as circumduction. Circumduction. Then see here, this is the foot, and if you are showing the sole of the foot towards midline, you call it as inversion. If you see show the sole of the line outwards, you call it as eversion. So you can see this is inversion and the other term is aversion. Okay, then I already told you superior means like facing like the same side and lying face down. Posterior, ipsilateral, supine, what does it mean? Let us see. Dorsal is behind, isn't it? Back. Ventral is front. Dorsal of the same side we have lying on the back. Distal is opposite side and lying face down. Then we have, what are the various planes I have shown you? I have shown you in the horizontal cut, median, transverse, sagittal and coronal, different planes. The word caudal is a direction term which is actually away. Okay, these are actually like MCQ type of questions. And the hand is located at dash end of the forearm. Hand is located distal to the forearm. Okay, the word caudal means what? It is indicating away from the body, away from the head. Okay, Then coronal plane is running, dividing the body into front and back, anterior and posterior, front and back. So these are the various anatomical terms which you should know. Okay, so study well. Wish you very all the best.